Hi, this is Rochelle with Centerpool Shell, and I'm back for another update. In this video, I'll talk about projects that I'm working on, new yarn acquisitions, and ideas of things I would like to do. So, to start, I had this bright idea that I would do 3 different pieces for the month of February. So, it's like my goal for February. In no particular order, I wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, something for Black History Month, and something for Mardi Gras. So my idea for Valentine's Day was to do a heart purse or heart bag. The only issue I've run into is that I haven't been able to find a simple heart um, applique style that would be big enough to make a bag with. So I attempted to write my own pattern, which I started in this little memo book of my penning gear. These are really nice. They're kind of popular in the planner community, the fountain pen community. Yeah. Anywho, they're available at Walmart really cheap. So I started trying to write my own pattern for it. So I was crocheting along. I would do the stitches, write it down, do the stitches. Well, this is all of that scribble scrabble. It was going okay, but when I would get to this side as the heart grew, this isn't this, but as the heart, I took it apart like 3 different times. As the heart grew, I was getting a miscount of stitches on this side. This side would be perfect. So the right would be perfect, but then when I would come up on the left side, it would always be off. And I would take it a loose, recount, make sure I was counting and doing the stitches correctly. I mean, I was actually writing the pattern. It was just not working out. So I got all of that done. Then I thought, well, maybe if I do like the diagram chart style, it would be more helpful. But as you can see, I abandoned that. So then I scratched all of this and I was like, okay, this isn't working. Let's start fresh. And I started again and I still was having the same problem coming up this side with the stitch count being off. So I quit. I went on Pinterest, and I do have links in the description box below to my Pinterest inspirations for different projects. So anything that I work on that I've found online, I will have pinned there so you can check that board out and follow me on Pinterest. I found this on Pinterest. This pattern is in that board. And the base of this is from this pattern. Okay. I needed it to be bigger though. So this wasn't big enough. I wanted it to be at least 7 or 8 inches wide. I felt like that would be a nice size purse. Let's see what we got here. So this is about 8.5 inches. So that would be perfect, actually. I could stop there. I added 3 rows and I did it kind of weird. I kind of followed the same pattern that was here, give or take. I modified it myself. I actually started out trying to draw it on here, but it was too bunched up. So I couldn't really go back and see what I was doing easily as I was working. So I did what I did in my notebook and wrote it out as I went. So this was the first round, second round, third round. It's messy, but it was working. Now that I look at it here under the light, it's okay. It looks a little like something happened here, but the stitches are the right count, so I don't know why I have that gap there. It did start curling, as you can see, so I probably didn't add enough inches, inches, enough stitches in one of the 3 rows. I think I might go with this. Now, what I did different is when I started doing my rows, I crocheted in the back loop only. So I may undo that and go back. Because again, now that I'm looking at it here, it does look better. I still had somewhat of an issue coming back up this side, but it wasn't as bad as it was when I was writing my own pattern. So I'm thinking maybe I can get this to work. So I'm using this big twist yarn for this, and this part of this is really, really soft because I had taken this the heart loose so many times and redid it so many times. I think I spent all afternoon Saturday and much of the day Sunday working on this. And then I finally added these 3 rows on Monday. Then I was like, maybe I'm just going to give up, but I wanted to show this before I just gave up on it. So now, again, once I'm looking at it under the light, looking at it through the viewfinder, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. So I may use it and go ahead and make a bag out of it. Now, in the previous video, shared that I picked up the crochet hooks, the metal crochet hooks from Dollar Tree. For this, I use this 5 millimeter hook. It is not perfect, but as you can see, it worked fine. In every part that I ended up frogging because I couldn't get my stitch count right, I used this. I've seen a review mentioning that it was very slippery. It's not that slippery to me. It may be because of the way I hold the hook. It's not slippery. However, the seams on the side that meet up here at the top where the metal is, they are a little rough and it was snagging my yarn. These are not perfect quality, and you might get better results without worrying about snagging with the plastic hooks. I don't know. I haven't tried mine yet, but if you are new, this works fine. If you find your yarn snagging around where the metal and the plastic meet, you could easily take a nail file or a sandpaper and just sand it down right here a little bit. I think I was thinking about doing that because you can feel the seam, but when I'm crocheting, my hand isn't where the seam is. So that didn't really bother me. The only thing that actually bothered me, I didn't have a problem with it slipping. The only thing I had issue with was it snagging. It's probably just an imperfection that pops up during manufacturing, but after a while it went away. So maybe whatever little piece of plastic that was there snagging my yarn just wore down. I don't know. But again, this works just fine. So that's kind of what I was part of what I was a little bit obsessed with. And when I printed this out, I was just looking for granny square ideas on Pinterest, and I found this. Now, I actually paid for a pattern. That was the first crochet pattern that I purchased when I got back into crocheting. It was like a celestial theme granny square pattern that I picked up on Etsy that I overpaid for. If only I had just looked on Pinterest. I really like these chart or diagram style patterns. I'm a visual learner, so this really helps. And I really prefer this, especially for a smaller project, rather than reading a long, drawn out text pattern. I like this. This is great. And once you learn the symbols, it's really easy. So this one didn't come with a key, but this one has a key. And as far as I know, these are pretty standard across the board, so it should be pretty fairly easy to understand. So I'm guessing that's the treble crochet. Yeah, because this is double. Okay. All right. So one day we'll get to this, but I'm going to be putting these in my book. This will probably annoy some people. People will be mad, whatever. I don't really care. I went ahead and downloaded the Melt the Ice hat. I did some research myself as far as the look of this hat, this Norwegian hat from the 1940s. Wow, that wasn't really that long ago. Yeah, so I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to try knitting again or get back into knitting. I know how to knit. I'm just not good at it, and I haven't done it since I was a little girl. So I kind of want to see if I can do better now that I'm older and I have YouTube to help me. So I got the patterns. I got both the knit pattern and the crochet. I don't want to show that too much, but this is what the knit hat looks like, and this is what the crochet hat looks like. I prefer the knit hat actually, but I'm not sure that these are actually authentic to the original design. I don't know. They don't look like it to me, but I do prefer the knit hat. The only issue I have with the knit is that I don't understand the directions. Like number one, knit in 1 by 1 rib to 6 inches or desired length. I have to look up what is 1 by 1 rib. I think I have a pretty good idea, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I did get those, and I don't know. I may or may not make it. but I did want to support. Okay. So since I have been printing these patterns off, I did make myself a crochet book. The graphics I purchased on Etsy a while ago. So I printed them myself. And this is kind of something that I do on my other channel. But I printed them myself and made myself laminated covers. I already had these Happy Planner mini discs in my stash. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments below and I can kind of help you with it. But this is kind of what I do on my other channel, planner, journal, stationery type thing. So this is the back cover, and then this is the inside back cover. All right, and I did put my center pull shell branding on there. So this is where I have my patterns. I overpaid for this pattern too. This is from that mypz.nl. Turns out I didn't really need this either, but I did get 3 patterns for cheap, even though one of them, this one here, is basically just granny squares, and I don't really need a pattern for that. I think what drew me in was the color of the yarn that was used. I didn't really need these patterns, but it's okay. I have them in here. And then any free patterns that I download, I'm putting in here. I'm trying to group them by wearables, accessories, what else? Like granny squares. Um, yeah, mostly I like a lot of wearables because I really just want to be able to wear whatever. Oh, your purses and bags. So that's accessories. So yeah, this was a freebie from that My GZ. Um, but I have them as reference, and future projects that I want to work on are in here as well. I have my condensed version of the 6-day star blanket. These didn't print properly as far as the colors, but it's the pattern that counts. This is like a Grinch hat that I found. I have some Wand the Yarn Addict patterns in here and some free patterns from around the way. Okay, so this is my crochet pattern book that I made myself. I just bent up my paper. I don't like doing that. So what I'm going to do is punch these and go ahead and get these ready to go in here. This is the cloak that I'm working on that didn't print quite right, but it's good enough. Let's see. I just want to make sure I get everything going the right direction, the right pages. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these and put these in, and then we will proceed with what else I got going on. All right. So let's find where I put the hat. I think this needs to, I need to add a pocket in here too. I have some adhesive pockets. So this is all like, oh, I have the cloak in here already. Okay, I forgot that I had reprinted it, so I don't have to put that in here. And this one has my notes on it, so I'll just leave that out. Let's do the square. So it's bags in the bag. I'm gonna have to put some dividers in here. So these are all blankets. So we're gonna go with motif and granny squares back here. So that is how I'm working on my patterns and storing my patterns. Let's put this back. All right. So that's an inexpensive way to make your own crochet book. And you could just use like a 3-prong folder, a 3-ring binder. It's just that I have those supplies and the everything to make that on hand. So, and I kind of like using the disc over a 3-ring binder because you don't have to open up the rings. And yeah, I'm used to the disc, so I like to use the disc. Okay, so next thing is the yarn that I have acquired over the last week or so. Michael's had a sale on. It's not really a good sale. It appears to be a good sale on the surface, but really it isn't. It was buy two, get one free on all the yarn. I mean, it was good, but I don't know. Anyway, I noticed when I went into my local Michael's that they had a couple of rows up at the front full of yarn. Now, I don't know what was in that area previously because I usually just walk right by it and head straight to the back to the yarn department. Um, so I don't even know what was there before, but I did notice that they were redoing some of the areas in the front of the store. But this area had the Bernat blanket yarn. It had a variety of different yarns on these aisles. A lot of the really thick Bernat blanket yarn, though. But yeah, I'm sharing here what it looked like, and I was really impressed. I was like, wait a minute, why do they have this yarn up here like this? And it's still in the way they have it on the shelves, it's in boxes. Um, I hope that those additional aisles stay in this store. They seem to be slow stocking this store. I don't know because I remember back before Christmas when I would go in there, like for several weeks, there were boxes on the floor full of yarn. And I could even see where customers, if like customers had started going through those boxes. Eventually, they stocked the shelves, but yeah, I don't know why these two aisles are there, but it was good to see a larger section of yarn. So I think I'm going a little crazy with buying the yarn because all I can think about is making wearables, 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 um, and hats, which is a wearable. Um, but yeah, I'm already working on a sweater that I'm going to share with you in a little bit. But every time I see a different yarn, I'm always thinking, ooh, I can make a sweater with that. Ooh, I can make a sweater with that. So I don't know how many sweaters I'm going to end up with. But as part of the buy two, get one free, I picked three of these up. I got the Karen Cinnamon Swirl Cake and what is the colorway? Oyster, I think it is. Yes, Oyster. It's a medium four-weight yarn. It is 8 ounces, 227 grams, or 407 yards, which I feel is like a little bit of yarn, but I really like this colorway. I'm trying not to use the same colors all the time, and tend to lean towards a Southwest kind of look. I would probably do everything in black if it wasn't so hard to see the stitches with black, but yeah. So I try to do something different. This is neutral, and I'm also going to eventually make an effort to do something in brights. I know I did the bucket hats and the little Pentagon bag in bright colors, but that's a little different because those are Halloween themed. I was kind of itching to do that. But about this, thinking of maybe a hexagon sweater, even though I'm not a fan of all the holes in granny stitch wearables, I still like that hexagon sweater. That's all that I got on the Michael sale. That was enough. I think I ordered this from Walmart. Um, if not, I'll put on the screen where I got it from. It was a 3-pack and it was a good price. And I've been seeing this. It may have been Amazon. I don't know. It was Walmart or Amazon. But it came in a 3-pack. And I thought it was a good price. And I hadn't tried this yarn yet. It is the Red Heart Roll With It Melange. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's 100% acrylic. And I forgot to say that this Karen cake is 100% acrylic too. 100% acrylic, 5.29 ounces, 150 grams, 389 yards, 356 meters. This is what it looks like. The recommended hook size is 5.5 crochet hook, 5 millimeter for knitting needles. It's a 4-weight. Looks like it's machine wash and dry. I really need to learn these symbols too. Machine washable and dryable. Okay, good, because I don't want to have to hand wash anything or lay anything flat to dry if I can help it. That's what keeps me from ordering from Hobby or Hobie. Majority of their yarn is not machine washable and dryable. So that's why I don't get it. But yeah, I got three of these. Not sure what I would make with this. Not sure that I even have enough to make anything, but I was really intrigued by the colors that I saw. This colorway name is Showtime. There's one other one kind of similar to this that I want to check out too. But as you can see, it has like the turquoise, pinky, orange, yellow look to it. This doesn't look so much like it does here. So I don't know if this it's gonna work up to look like this. I don't know. Then I went to, what is that store called? Ollie's. And I went there looking for something else. They didn't have it. So they did have this, and I am not a fan of the Bernat blanket yarns. I do not really care for these yarns. The last yarn that I got, that was Bernat blanket. It was like a green colorway, similar to this, variegated. I used it to make little mats for my cats. One cat loves hers, the other one, she doesn't use it. So, but I did like this color, and it was, a much better color than what I had seen previously there. So I got 2 balls of this, and I'm sure I had an idea of what I wanted to make with it. Maybe like a basket or something. I don't know. But this is called Branch. It is a 6 weight, super bulky. Um, Recommended hook size for crochet is 8 millimeters, needles 8 millimeters for knitting, 100% polyester, 10.5 ounces, 300 grams, 220 yards, 201 meters, and it is Bernat blanket. I wonder if I could make myself a blanket with this. I don't know. It's a free pattern on the label. Based on that, I could probably, no, it says 4 balls, so I only have 2. Oh well. Anywho, there is that. I don't know what it is, why I don't like the Bernat blanket. And it's so popular, and it's like always stocked, which maybe it's not as popular as you would think. And maybe it just looks like that because the balls are so big, they're huge, take up a lot of space, and it just makes it seem like they always have a lot of it. I don't know. What do you think about the Bernat? What am I missing about this yarn that everyone loves? It just feels kind of ick to me. I mean, once it's worked up, like when I made the little mats for my cats, once it was worked up, it felt better, but it's still just not my favorite. I think I do prefer the throwback versions of this type of yarn that Joann's used to have. I think it was like a Posh something, and then there was another one. I used those 2 yarns. I had them in my stash um, back when I didn't really know that much about yarn, but I had them in my stash for something that I was making for like a book sleeve. And I just kind of wanted to get rid of it early in 2025. So I made a messenger bag with it. And I'm just using that to store yarn in. So yeah, I like that yarn a lot better than this. This feels like it has like I don't know, it's not smooth and slick. It's soft, but not, it's cushiony. It's not really soft. It's cushiony. I don't know. Not my favorite yarn. Now, you probably turn up your nose at me when I'm talking about the Bernat blanket, and then I am a Red Heart fan. People talk so much junk about Red Heart. Oh, it's so rough, la 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 la. However, I feel like the Red Heart yarn projects will be around years after some of the other yarns that are so soft have basically fallen apart and are no longer looking like they did the day they were made. I just prefer it. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's out of habit and I grew up with Red Heart yarn. I don't know. But anyway, I got a bunch of these. I think I got 6 or 7 of these from Ollie's. They were 4.99. I don't know if that's a good price. I think it is. It's the granny square yarn, but I don't plan to use it as granny square. I plan to make myself a duster, crochet duster, and I'm thinking of doing it raglan style. So we'll see how that goes. So I think this would be a good color for denim, wear with jeans. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I have enough. But I like this colorway. I really wanted a different colorway, but they had already sold out of all of that. So pick the next best thing. So again, I got this from Ollie's. It's a 4 weight, of course, 100% acrylic. Recommended hook size is 5.5 millimeter. Needle is 5 millimeter. 8.8 ounces, 250 grams, 417 yards, 381 meters. And it's supposed to make granny squares automatically. I've never tried to use this type of yarn that way. Maybe before I get started on my sweater, I'll experiment with if it works. I know a lot of people have problems with it, but I never wanted to use it in that way. I rather pick my own colors for my granny squares. All right, and then I have this, which I haven't taken out of the bag. I guess I could. This is Jack. I think it's called Jack's in puzzle yarn. I already had 3 skeins of this, and I ordered 2 more because, again, I want to make myself a duster style cardigan, and I'm going to show you the one that I want to make. This one. So I found this pattern on Premier Yarn. It's a free pattern, and here it is. I've already gone through and highlighted my size options, and yeah, this is what it looks like. So I thought the puzzle yarn would be nice. It's a nice light color, and we'll see what happens. So the puzzle yarn is from Walmart. They have it on the shelf too, but they didn't have enough. So I had to order it, which is fine. It's 5 bulky weight yarn, recommended needle 6 millimeter, recommended hook 6 millimeter. The color is Jack. It is a Premier yarn, so you can get it on the Premier website too. It's 328 yards, 300 meters, 7 ounces, 200 grams, 100% acrylic. A lot of people love, love, love this yarn. I don't know that I love it. I haven't worked with it enough. I've made one cat ear beanie with the Premier puzzle yarn. It's like a blue colorway, and it was fine. But you'll see how it goes making the duster style cardigan. But that is it for my yarn acquisitions since the last video. In the meantime, I kind of got obsessed and sidetracked from the projects that I was supposed to be working on, meaning the baby 6-star blanket that I'm making and the black cloak that I'm making. I got sidetracked because I saw another short by Astro Nitty. I don't know what it is, why I'm so obsessed with the things that she makes, but it inspired me to make myself a cardigan again, another sweater. I don't know. That's probably going to just end up being my thing. It's just me making sweaters and hats a lot, and maybe bags here and there. She made a different type of granny square sweater. I am not crazy about the granny square sweater. I didn't want another one like that because I had just made one. So I kind of used that as inspiration and came up with my own design. I'm not really certain about the colors that I chose, but this is what it looks like. Instead of just a regular granny square, I started out with the sunburst grannies as the center of each of the panels. So I have 2 squares in the front on each side, and then one big one for the back. And I also incorporated some of what I learned when I was making the 6-day star blanket. So instead of just granny stitches all the way through, I mixed it up with some double crochet. There's a little single crochet in there, but mostly double crochets that are not in the granny stitch pattern. They are just straight double crochets. And then for the sleeves, I'm doing like a striped pattern. I did have a little mess up on the sleeves, but I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to frog it. I'm just going to leave it and try to correct it as I go. I don't think it will be noticeable once it's being worn. So, and it's kind of like for me to have around the house. Like when I'm over here at my desk, it's a little colder over on this side of the room. This is what it's looking like. But I kind of, yeah, stopped all my other projects, all my other whips, and went full force into making this. So now that I'm in the sleeves, I think sleeves and sewing in ends are the things that I tend to procrastinate most about. But once I get into the groove of sewing in my ends, it's no big deal. It's just that actually getting started doing it that is the problem. So that is everything that I have been working on, everything that I've acquired to date. I'm going to continue to figure out what I want to do for this. I still don't know what I want to do for my Black History. I was thinking of doing a tapestry bag for Black History Month. And for Mardi Gras, maybe a ruffle hat. I don't know. I think I'm over the ruffle hat thing, but maybe for Mardi Gras, I could do a hat, or maybe I'll come up with something else. But hopefully, I will be able to show something finished in this video. But that's it for now. I'll be back with another update. All right, so I am back with one of my finished projects for my little personal challenge that I'm doing for the month of February. This is a heart-shaped tote, my version of it. It's from a free pattern available at Yarnspirations. It's called the title is Red Heart Free Crochet Heart Tote Bag Pattern. And as much as I like Red Heart yarn, in this instance I used Big Twist because I didn't have any Red Heart yarn. So I used the Big Twist. I think mine looks more like a strawberry than a heart, but it's fine. And I also decided to spruce it up a little bit, try to add a little something extra to it. I didn't do the tassel, but I did do a pink uh, chenille ruffle around the edge, a little small ruffle. And I used the Premier Chenille yarn from Dollar Tree. It took less than a skein to do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I still need to weave in my ends. So the next thing I'm going to work on, I think, and you'll probably see this in a future video, is a project for Mardi Gras. That's the end of this update vlog video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.